This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Let them keep talking. Whoa.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by Bahamas Air, Burger King, City of Hope, Fine Threads, Going Places, John's Department Store, Joker's Wild, KFC, Naughty Johnny's, Percy's and Games, Pintertal, Print Masters, Sandcastle Bahamas, Star General, Insurance Made Simple, and Tropical Gyros.
We're gonna keep them talking, laugh when they're talking, yeah. We've got a lot more coming. Who have ears to hear, let them hear. And who have eyes to see, let them see. No one in this world can stop me, 'cause I'm protected by the Almighty. Jah is with me wherever I go. Oh, I know Jah loves me so. One thing I know, and of that I'm sure, I'm gonna talk, keep them talking. We're gonna keep them talking, laugh when they're talking, oh yes. We've got a lot more coming, talk, keep them talking, and I know, keep them talking, laugh when they're talking, yeah.
We're back at ya on the Tuesday, March 25th edition of Talking Heads. Your boy Naughty and your company right up until 6 p.m. Listen, if you're on the road, listen, I got caught. I don't know what happened today, but traffic everywhere. Proceed with caution and care. All right? You ain't got to be there dead early. Get there when you get there. Other people on the road, other people on the sidewalks. All right? So, yeah. It's that kind of Tuesday. But like I said, we're going to Grand Bahama. We're going to take a quick break. Straight to Grand Bahama we go. The Grand Bahama news each and every Tuesday. Awesome supplement in The Guardian. We'll be heading to Grand Bahama. We'll be talking with Sarah Kirkby. We'll be talking with Darren Cooper. All things Grand Bahama. And, of course, touching some other headlines as well with Sarah and Darren. Keep it right where you got it. The Tuesday, March 25th edition of Talking Heads continues right after this.
When they're talking, yeah. We've got a lot more coming. Talk, keep them talking. We're gonna keep them talking. Laugh when they're talking.
KFC is taking things to crunchier levels with the new barbecue bacon ranch sandwich. Bite into 8 layers of flavor with your choice of a spicy or original recipe. Extra large white meat filet topped with our premium ranch sauce, lettuce, tomatoes, smoky bacon, American cheese, and our rich signature barbecue sauce. All placed on a toasted brioche bun. The new KFC barbecue bacon ranch sandwich is here, and it's finger-licking good.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
As a healthcare professional, you dedicate your life to caring for others. But even with the best care, legal challenges can arise. Protect your practice and your peace of mind with medical malpractice insurance from Star General. At Star General, we've partnered with Lloyd's of London to bring you comprehensive professional liability insurance designed specifically for those consulting or practicing privately. Visit our website today so you can focus on what you do best, caring for your patients while we take care of the rest. Star General, insurance made simple.
crunch your hunger cravings and satisfy the whole family with KFC bucket meals starting at just $20. Get freshly prepared golden fried chicken, buttery biscuits, and add your favorite large sides for flavor that will make your mouth happy and your feet dance. Order online or WhatsApp hi to 557-3663 to grab your KFC bucket today. Big flavor, bigger value, and always KFC. Finger licking good.
Talking Heads with Naughty. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
It's time for the buzz. What are you buzzing on? Brought to you by John's Shoes.
Let them keep talking.
We're back at you on the Tuesday, March 25th edition of Talking Heads. Let's get straight to Grand Bahama. It is Tuesday, like I told you, each and every Tuesday, great supplement in the Guardian, courtesy of the Grand Bahama News. We got Sarah Kirkby from the Grand Bahama News and Darren Cooper chiming in from Grand Bahama. The Freeport report is on. Guys, how are you? Welcome back. Good to see you. Glad to have you for another Tuesday.
Doing good, thank you, and glad to have Darren on. I couldn't see him on the thing, so
Good
I
afternoon.
was chasing him for no reason. He was there.
all that smog in Freeport is a surprise you can see in front of your face.
That's right, boy.
So, first and foremost, you guys, and obviously, you know, I hope you guys and your families and everybody are well. We still continue to see the blazes coming out of Freeport. Where are we with that a week later?
I drove through it this morning, and so for me, it was a lot better than it had been last week, Thursday. I think I drove through, and I was the scariest drive I've ever had in my life. I literally could see in front of me, and the smoke was horrendous. As you can see from our main cover picture, it had just sat in that area, and then the fires kept restarting. Now, as most of them are out, there's a couple, I think, still left on Churchill Road, a couple trees here and there, and everyone's really doing a lot of pass-throughs all the time. It's clearer now, thank goodness. That's what I know on my end. Darren, what are you saying?
Oh, but I know that there was something over the weekend. There was something over the weekend in the 8 Mile Rock area there by Container Port, Shipyard, Bahama Rock. But nothing on my end as relates to where we are. In terms of continuous fire.
Yeah.
What's the situation with the fire trucks in Grand Bahama?
So now we have 2 working fire trucks. If you read our story on page 2, I want to say who was the director of the operations. No, that would be the wrong part. It would be the police department gave an update that said that one of the non-working trucks is now working, but it was because of all the other trucks that came to help, which are from private companies like the Buckeyes and the other companies like that. They also came in and helped, including the sewage truck. That's what really made the big difference for the island. So people are still calling for the rest of these trucks to be repaired or replaced ASAP. And we talk about that in our article, but at least we did have 2 working fire trucks because, like Darren said, there was another incident. I think it was down towards almost at West End, not West End, in the 8 Mile Rock area on the weekend.
Yeah, at the entrance of Container Port, that was going into 8 Mile Rock. That was really out of control, even to the road. Fire truck yesterday, today, and just now. So I don't know if they're probably the minister probably have them just driving through and letting people know the fire truck is working, or it's probably being able to be on the road. What happens when they show up to a fire is another story. But there is a fire truck different from the one that we would have saw arrive from Nassau, that's on the road and has been on the road frequently all day yesterday, today, earlier, and just now. So I guess it's up and running in terms of being able to drive, but don't know the full capacity of it being able to
What about
function out of fire.
What about the power? Has that been restored? Because I know it was affected.
Yeah, power and internet services were a problem.
I see you're stressing my good brother-in-law out from Grand Bahama Port Power Company, Mr. Jared Moss. Why are you stressing my brother-in-law out like that, man?
Well, I think the problem with the poles were falling down due to the fire. So a poor man. But because it was so
obviously,
intense.
I understand from his comments, though they worked into the wee hours in the morning. It was intense, but power has been restored, correct?
Yeah, power was restored pretty much that day, if not that night. when the major fires were on. And then they had problems with cable and internet services. They were also worked on and repaired. The big worry at one point was the hotel because it was near Viva Fortuna, Club Fortuna, as a lot of people know it. But I saw the hotel manager actually on Sunday. They moved most of their guests from the right side of the hotel over to the left, which was not having all the smoke damage coming in. It's all cleared now, but it was a bit scary. And they did have a lot of people in that area working because people were talking about tourists walking down the beach with their suitcases, but they did have to move in quite quickly because of the smoke. So, that was just a big worry, but that did get resolved.
All right. What about the smog that we're seeing as well too? And we still got the smog and the smoke, residue?
No, that's cleared out. It's basically cleared out by this weekend. It was still bad for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's clearing out now. I walked the beach Monday and Tuesday in that area, and it's gone now. But you can still smell the smoke and the residue. So it is supposed to rain here tonight, and everyone is very much hoping that it will rain this evening.
So it's under wraps for now, but obviously you got to keep an eye on it and continue to do your due diligence, correct?
Yeah, it's just been so dry here. Everything is just so just ready to burn. I don't know about you, Darren, but I mean, that's what it's like. It's
absolutely
not good.
It's horribly dry.
Yeah.
All right, so
that's our big issue. Yeah.
Well, thanks for getting us caught up on that. And very sad as well. Everyone by the passing of Gia Pierre, celebrated playwright and producer who put together some of the greatest plays that we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
And
such
involved some
a great
tremendous talent and talent in our own right. Very sad to see the passing of Gia Pierre.
Yeah, we should. I mean, I think there'll be a lot of stories done on her. But what a wonderful lady. I knew her through the Regency Theater. She would have plays, and it would be great. She'd start with having 3 nights, and then they'd extend it another 6 nights, and then they'd come back and do it another 4 nights. I mean, it was fantastic, and the audiences were just so receptive to her, and she really engaged lots of different talent that came out to be in her plays, and they were just hysterical. And it'll be a big loss. My friend Marty, a very well-known actor, and a lot of her plays used to just steal the shows from so many people. She wrote so well for him, and it's a shame. And she's a young lady, so it's very, very sad.
Thoughts and prayers go out to our family and friends and colleagues. Very sad to see her pass, like we said here. We got some other things as well to talk about. I know this is something that you're always on about, Sarah Wassam. I see Wassam is now finding housing.
Yeah, so their housing concerns are going to start coming up soon. So we just wanted to make everybody aware. This is the big thing. As new students come in, their bigger group will come in September. So that's what the story talks about. But it is something that the realty companies have been bringing up about housing. As the shipyard starts to increase, as Carnival now gets near to the opening and they're starting to hire more people, we're going to need more housing as people return to come and work to Grand Bahama. It's something that a friend of ours talked about. He's Realty Kiara Jones and her mom, Donna Jones. It's something that we need. We need housing not just for the management, but we need it for, lower end, 1 single bedroom apartments, things like that. So it's just to keep everyone up to date of what we need here as Grand Bahama starts to come back. This is going to be one of our issues. It's going to be housing and rental property. So, now's the time to look, buy, and invest, I guess. But so it's a nice story about what Wassam's doing. They will eventually, I believe, build their own housing, but that's not going to happen for a while. So I think everybody's looking to get in on that and to hopefully make some money for the island and for themselves.
All right. So, like I said, we got to get, we're going to get to this first break now, Mr. Producer. All right, we'll get to the first break now. Come back and talk some more things, Grand Bahama. And, of course, I got some questions for Darren on the national level as well, too. Still got to talk about the MSSCA, Berkshire Partner for Food Sustainability. That's something we definitely need to talk about, as well as Humane Society of Grand Bahama gearing up for the big fundraiser. Don't want to miss out on that. There you go. All of that and more coming up on the flip side of the break. It's the Tuesday, March 25th edition of Talking Heads continues right up.
Them talking, laugh when they're talking, yeah. We've got a lot more coming. Who have ears to hear, let them hear. And who have eyes to see, let them see. No one in this world can stop me, 'cause I'm protected by the Almighty. Jah is with me wherever I go. Oh, I know Jah loves me so. One thing I know, and of that I'm sure, I'm gonna talk, keep them talking. We're gonna keep them talking. Laugh when they're talking.
Crunch your hunger cravings and satisfy the whole family with KFC bucket meals starting at just $20. Get freshly prepared golden fried chicken, buttery biscuits, and add your favorite large size for flavor that will make your mouth happy and your feet dance. Order online or WhatsApp hi to 557-3663 to grab your KFC bucket today. Big flavor, bigger value, and always KFC. Finger licking good.
Refined style with elegant taste, then Fine Threads is your place. If you want those slacks hemmed or just taking the waist, then Fine Threads is your place. If you wanna look suave and debonair everywhere you go, like you're supposed to be in a video, wanna step out and look great, then Fine Threads is your place. Refined style with elegant taste, then Fine Threads is your place.
We're still here. Since 1941, the Armory Company has been your trusted partner and one-stop solution for all your business and technology needs. From printers to copier leasing, point of sale to cloud video surveillance, and access control to ATMs, we've got it all. And we ship to all family islands. Call our dedicated customer service team now at 397-1600 or visit us behind Wendy's on Mackey Street and experience excellence that stands the test of time. The Armory Company. Your success is our business.
Are you ready to indulge in the islands of the Bahamas? Take off to TCI, hop over to Havana, or fly to Florida. No matter the destination, jumpstart your journey with Bahamas Air, the national flight carrier of the Bahamas. Take advantage of our frequent flyer program and exclusive hotel and car deals. Book your flight now at bahamasair.com or visit your local ticket sales office in Nassau or Grand Bahama. Bahamas Air, we don't just fly here, we live here.
KFC is taking things to crunchier levels with the new barbecue bacon ranch sandwich. Bite into 8 layers of flavor with your choice of a spicy or original recipe. Extra large white meat fillet topped with our premium ranch sauce, lettuce, tomatoes, smoky bacon, American cheese, and our rich signature barbecue sauce. All placed on a toasted brioche bun. The new KFC barbecue bacon ranch sandwich is here, and it's finger licking good.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Let them keep talking. Whoa, bark if you're barking. Oh yes, let them talk, keep them talking. Hey, we're gonna keep them talking. Laugh when they're... We've got a lot more coming. Talk, keep them talking. We're gonna keep them talking. Laugh when they're talking, yeah. We've got a lot more coming.
We're back at you on the Tuesday, March 25th edition Talking Heads. Let's get back to Grand Bahama. And before we get there, let me get to this text real quick. Naughty, there is a big truck that broke down on Milo Butler Highway traveling north. It's broken down. As dark falls, one won't be able to see it. Please get someone to move it before we have another fatality. That would be in the right lane. All right, so if you're heading on Milo Butler Highway, you're traveling north, they got a truck broken down. So try to avoid that area because obviously it's causing traffic now. But I do agree with the texter. As it gets dark, lighting is not too, good on that highway. There's lights, but there's patches. You definitely want to proceed with caution and care. And it should be moved, especially if it's a company truck. Is it a private vehicle, texter, or is it a company vehicle? Because if it's a company vehicle, then they need to do their due diligence and move that. Like you said before, there's another sad fatality there. All right, let's get back to Grand Bahama. Darren, what's happening? You good?
A good man, Noddy, right here. Taking my punches, smiling.
I just want to wrap up with Sarah, but then I got a couple other questions I gotta ask you, man. Real talk.
Yeah, make sure to wrap up with Sarah because we don't want Sarah to be in her feelings at the end of the show that she didn't do anything with the people.
I can leave that to y'all two Grand Bahamians to deal with.
Get her in, and I don't want Sarah to be on my left side. I want to be on my right side.
All right,
That's
cool.
Right,
well, let's talk real quick
Keep
about.
the lady happy.
Let's talk real quick about the food sustainability, and then we can wrap up with the fundraiser for the Humane Society in Grand Bahama.
Thank you, kind sir. So yeah, they had a great week at Mary Star of the Sea School. They're all talking about farming, backyard farming, becoming a big thing here. So I guess they're reaching out to young children. So it's a really nice story of what they're doing in the community. I used to do this, I remember at my school at Sunland when I was little, backyard farming and having your own farm at school is really cool. So it's nice to see that coming back. The Humane Society is having its fundraiser this Saturday. It's a hoedown. They raised quite a lot of money last year. It helps for their spay and neuter campaign. They are not government funded. They are a private organization. So we ask as many people as they can to come out for that event. I cannot lie, I'm on part of that fundraising committee. So I hope a lot of people attend and we do really well. Very simple outfit, jeans and a plaid shirt, and you're all in. We're selling hats as well, so you're all good if you want to attend. And I'm selling tickets too. Might as well push it. And then our last little one I want to mention is back to Waltham again. All the young kids from 3 different schools on the island, Bishop Michael Eldon, 8 Mile Rock, and Jack Hayward came and did a Saturday afternoon learning about how you train to be a doctor. And it's really cool. They were there at the school. I thought that was a really cool opportunity. And, great, because we need lots of doctors and kids should be looking at careers in all sorts of fields. So nice to see that coverage. Okay?
All right. But now.
Thank you.
There you go. Thank you, sir. I appreciate the contribution and good stuff each and every Tuesday with the supplement in The Guardian. All right, Darren, you have anything you want to say out of Grand Bahama? Because I got some national headlines me and you need to talk about. But
go ahead with the questions. I can go follow you today.
All right. First and foremost, keep seeing the bi-weekly payments. What have you heard? How is that going to affect Grand Bahamians?
Well, from the little that I've heard as relates to it, there are some who want it, and then there's the majority of what I heard doesn't want that type of payment. But at the end of the day, for me, I think once proper consultation is done and persons are agreeing to it, people may want paycheck earlier rather than waiting 30 days. You got some people who just can't manage their funding, and you got some people who could manage it, and then some people who funds are maxed out. But at the end of the day, I'm sort of curious on why would government want to even interfere with the pay system that's there. I think government should spend a lot of time on trying to cover its debts until its debts than to really worry or mess with a pay scale or a pay system that doesn't seem to have a break button on it.
There's a lot of talk here in New Providence, and a lot of people are, raising their issues with it. So I wanted to see what it was like on the ground in Grand Bahama regarding that first and foremost. Second of all, where are we? Like I said, Sarah said we got 2 fire trucks, but honestly, Darren, we got all of them 2 working?
Naughty, honestly.
Because I've been getting calls from some Grand Bahamians saying, man, Naughty, they got fire truck, but the truck ain't trucking.
Yeah, I do not. Like I say, I've seen, and I know that this is one of it's one of the trucks that we had before that's now presently back up on the road. As relates to the functioning of this truck, whether this truck is functioning or not, I am really not sure because, you only know now as it relates to running, it's running quite fine, speeding up. But as it relates to whether it is able and has the capacity, one, to hold the capacity of water that's needed and to be able to effectively distinguish a fire is something that we don't know. I see fire trucks in the recent days of the east end of the fire. You had 2-3 fire trucks on the road, and they were only on the road, and you had the sewer companies were there doing the job the fire truck should be doing, So it is a good question, and it's a realistic question. I would hope that the minister would have to go and move that fire truck she bought from Fort Lauderdale out of the way of the fire station and dump it somewhere. Um, and let us get what we really need in terms of being able to fight fire. While East Midshipman and Ardenvoy and Chesapeake, them were having their fire experience, we were having fire problems in 8 Mile Rock too. And now you have to share the resources, which was already limited.
But shouldn't each constituency, or how there's 8 Mile Rock, shouldn't 8 Mile Rock have their own fire truck and the city of Freeport have their own fire truck and the airport have their own fire truck?
Yes, there should be ones in West End and East End.
And West End and East End as well, correct.
Yeah, correct.
So Grand Bahama needs a minimum of at least 6 fire trucks, correct?
Yeah.
Obviously, one for each section, and then obviously, one for when one of them break down.
Correct. But see, if you have, and again, we've been saying, if our government is serious, we heard the Minister of National Security, they have 12 or 15 fire trucks on order, which means, Grand Bahama may only get 1 or 2. But again, you have the western end of Grand Bahama, which is far out of Freeport, and where the fire station is now is where it used to be before. Have to go through traffic to get to the west. God help us if they got to go to the east. It's even longer, and so we should. Second City should have 4 functioning fire trucks, 2 in central area, one in east and 1 in west, along with a stationed ambulance in the east and a stationed ambulance in the west, functioning and able to be used. Which means if you can have that, 2 things you may want to take into consideration. One, having a 24-hour clinic system in those areas. And if you don't have one, then fine. But to have an ambulance with EMT practitioners there that can deal with any case of an emergency, to be able now to reduce the length of damage waiting for an ambulance that takes 2-3 hours to get to where they need to go. So you can imagine having to call an ambulance from the city to wait for it to come all the way from Freeport to go to McLeanstown for a patient that's coming from Sweeting's Key. That's a lot.
That's wow. What a run.
And that's what we've continued to say to successive governments. Give us these simple functions. The other day, Naughty, I received information that the government purchased in cars out of Nassau almost 40 brand new cars for government agencies, 10 trucks. Why we cannot get a fire truck is $100,000 to $200,000, depending on what we want. We have a few high-rise buildings. We don't have a lot of, and then you have ambulance. The Minister of Health brought over these, I guess, Chinese ambulance where they can't be used the way they should. But if we could buy new cars for these government officials that just want to change car because they had it for 2 years, it's time to change. Why we don't have that same push and drive for the ambulance and the fire trucks and the police cars? Those people that need to have these functioning vehicles. Well, we don't see the need to do it. But we continue to have the PS, the DIS-S, the RA-S, the minister, this one, the minister, driver. Everybody gets a new car except the emergency services. The things that are going to save our lives, the things that are going to save our property.
And what's desperately needed.
Desperately, and not just in Grand Bahama, but the Bahamas, Grand Key, which is off from Grand Bahama. If someone dies, they got to put your body in a freezer, because they don't have a proper functioning system. And if you have an emergency situation on those keys, they don't have the necessary either golf cart or even a functioning movable vehicle to move patients. They don't. And so we have to, at some point, understand that these are things of value and of importance. And this is where our focus, if we change cabinet ministers' cars every 2 years because we don't want them to break down, I'd rather them break down the side of the road and call for Uber than for an ambulance to break down the side of the road and then we have to now pull it where we go.
Man, if you know the ambulance could
our
punkle up,
priorities in place.
I would go with the Uber. I would go with the cab first. You might have a better chance.
I think there's another issue too as well, guys. Also, there, it was brought up in a lot of chats. The actual fire hydrants are not working, are in working order. And there was a big...
I saw a video with an actual fire hydrant in the middle of the fires in Freeport not working.
Yes, so that was another issue as well, and that's something else that has to be addressed as well. I just think we'd like to be addressed about it and like to know what the plan is, because there needs to be some address, like what is happening, what are the goals for the next trucks. There has to be one in the West End and the East End area. It will not get there in time. And it's, so those are things we need to address. But definitely the planned fire hydrants is a big thing as well.
All right, let's get to the phone lines real quick. Talking Heads.
Yes, good evening afternoon to you and to your two guests, Ciaran Johnson.
Hey, Ciaran.
Yes, I know what the Bahamas needs, right? Because I know we need that also. But what we missing on Grand Bahama is very simple. It's simply called leadership. Leadership that understands the needs of the island, beginning in Freeport, working its way out to the other settlements. And because what we've had, at least almost 2 decades, is Band-Aid approach, lip service, no one actually speaking to an actual vision for this island. I repeat this, Austin. From 2002, every aspirant for the position of Prime Minister came and said, there will be no Bahamas recovery or growth without Grand Bahama playing a central role in it. Guess what? You can look at the economics of the country, look at the economics of Grand Bahama, and see that it does. What we have in Freeport, people say a two-headed monster is crazy. You should try seeing a three-headed monster. You have the Grand Bahama Port Authority, you have the Office of the Prime Minister, and you have local government, where seemingly none seems to understand their role or simply have neglected to take their position on it. I think until we, as Grand Bahamians, begin to take a more active role in what we need, nobody's coming to save us but us. Because most people who it sits in New Providence have no idea what it is. I mean, for me personally, this is my personal opinion. Maybe if we do have a prime minister from Grand Bahama, some things may change because, you'll have to take a central role in understanding the needs and the dynamics here. But until we finally, as Grand Bahamians, get up, plan for ourselves, make a decision what we want, how we're going to go, and then express that desire so that New Providence and the rest of the Bahamas knows the role that they will play in it. Because Grand Bahama is not separate from the Bahamas. It's not an agreement for Freeport. It's for all Bahamians. And so until we demand accountability and leadership that we need for this island, do not be surprised if we do the same thing today and wake up tomorrow. Don't be surprised tomorrow if we get the same result. Thanks.
All right, Ciaran, good stuff as always. Darren, sir, you got anything to add? I know we got to get to the break in short order, but anything to add before we get out in, before we close?
No, I just want you to keep up on the SpaceX stuff.
Yeah, keeping my eye on that too. I see a lot of big debris floating now, so.
The one that blows my mind is that they said when we went there, we couldn't see any damage to the fish or anything there. Well, of course you couldn't. You didn't get to the accident until like 2 weeks later, so anything that was damaged would have been gone.
What about the irretrievable objects that have gone down that are causing issues? And we don't know what toxins they possess, and they're now irretrievable.
There's no toxins. It's just the due process that's just annoying. Like, there's a process. If everyone has to follow it, everybody has to follow it. It can't just be for some. We're not lawless. We're very good. We follow those rules, and it has to happen. And that just blew my mind about that whole SpaceX. And that just for these mere pittance of dollars that we're getting, and there's, what recompense, what's going to happen to our beautiful oceans? Just like with oil fish, right? It's the same thing.
I'm with you right now. I'm concerned.
Space fish? It's just horrible.
Yeah, we keep finding a lot of different, species and creatures from deep, deep down. Alien fish with lights on their head or anything else.
Exactly.
The ones we got.
Exactly. We got to protect. We don't have much in the Bahamas, but we have the most beautiful oceans, the most beautiful beaches in the world, and lovely people, and we need to protect that, and it just really worries me. It's a big, big concern. Thanks for letting me save a 5 cents there.
No problem. Darren, what you got for me, man?
I know that I only want to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. I know at times it don't be easy, but you need persons like you to continue to keep their feet, all of their feet to the fire. And at the end of the day, I'll tell you, like someone told me today, dog don't bark at a parked car. The fact that they barking is the indication that you're moving. So keep moving, keep doing what you're doing. And like I say, until this breath leaves my body, I can keep fighting.
All right,
have a wonderful afternoon.
All right, let's get one more phone call in before we get out of here. I'm sure we can take it. Talking Heads.
We don't hate you. You're just naughty by nature.
What's happening, GNN?
If I tell you what's happening, you might talk it naughty. But listen, I can make this clear. I just want to call you naughty as my boy to find out, is there something in the House of Assembly that like they have a chalice or something there where it's be smoking? Because now Chester Cooper said they need another to figure out what's going on in there.
I don't know, boy. I don't know if it's a chalice. I don't know what it is. I don't know if something piped into the AC, but boy, I tell you.
Yeah, it just seems
we'll call it. You can't expect for him to tell you otherwise.
No, I agree with Darren. You don't expect him not to say they don't need another term. Of course, he's gonna say that. But boy, I tell you,
you know, there's power feel like the luxury of being the deputy prime minister, the drivers, the luxury travel, and then there's some other areas of the world that they've not gone as yet, and so they still have some more things on their bucket.
They got to get some more photo ops to take it.
Absolutely. They want to travel some more of the country.
People, they need another time to finish Jacob Freeport because he ain't nothing to do to Freeport yet. What they need another time for?
Nothing to Freeport, nothing to Abaco. Two of the biggest contributors to the bottom line, and they don't want to get them back on their feet. I don't get it.
Not even Hurricane repairs.
All right, GNN. Good stuff as always, bro. Boy.
Later, guys.
You guys have a great...
No airport. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Still don't have it.
There you go. Maybe next week we'll have it. Maybe next week we'll get that answer. But thank you guys. Have a great rest of the week in Grand Bahama. And we'll do it again next Tuesday. I appreciate both of you guys and your contributions. And we'll do it again next Tuesday.
Good news, Naughty. It started raining.
There you go. Good stuff. Let it rain, let it rain, let it rain. Quick commercial break. Flip side of the break, you got Cuban Willie's numerology report brought to you, of course, by the Island Game. We'll get into the 5 o'clock hour. Right after the news, we'll start talking sports. Pearlie will be in the building. Keep it right where you got it. The Tuesday, March 25th edition of Talking Heads continues right after this.
We've got a lot more coming. Who have ears to hear, let them hear. And who have eyes to see, let them see. No one in this world can stop me, 'cause I'm protected by the Almighty. Jah is with me wherever I go. Oh, I know your love.
To indulge in the islands off the Bahamas, take off to TCI, hop over to Havana, or fly to Florida. No matter the destination, jumpstart your journey with Bahamas Air, the national flight carrier of the Bahamas. Take advantage of our frequent flyer program and exclusive hotel and car deals. Book your flight now at bahamasair.com or visit your local ticket sales office in Nassau or Grand Bahama. Bahamas Air, we don't just fly here, we live here.
KFC is taking things to crunchier levels with the new barbecue bacon ranch sandwich. Bite into 8 layers of flavor with your choice of a spicy or original recipe. Extra large white meat fillet topped with our premium ranch sauce, lettuce, tomatoes, smoky bacon, American cheese, and our rich signature barbecue sauce. All placed on a toasted brioche bun. The new KFC barbecue bacon ranch sandwich is here, and it's finger-licking good.
Mommy, guess what I did in school today? Hold on, sweetie. Mommy's sending a text. But Mommy, my teacher said that you're not supposed to text and drive. I know what I'm doing. Oh, look, Mommy, the Smith twins. Mommy, watch out!
In 2017, approximately 54 people died as a result of traffic accidents. A percentage of these fatalities occurred as a result of texting while driving. Just taking your eyes off the road for 5 seconds can increase your chance of crashing. Remember, even the smallest voice counts. Texting. Brought to you by UB Radio and Guardian Radio 96.9.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
Love the show? Want to give your support? Become a sponsor today. Call 302-2300 for our rates and packages. That's 302-2300. Become a sponsor on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
All I do is win, no matter what.
Feeling lucky? Here's Cuban Willie's numerology report. Brought to you by the Island Game.
Buenos dias! It's Tuesday, and it's me, Cuban Willie, time for my numerology report, brought to you, of course, by the Island Game. And I got the lucky four balls for you today. The cuatro pelotas for you. That's what I'm talking about. The 68, 68, 68, 68. It came to me in a dream. Play it and win with the Island Game. Stay winning, my friends.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty. Only on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM.
Let them keep talking. Whoa, bark if you're barking. Oh, yes. Let them talk.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by Bahamas Air, Burger King, City of Hope, Fine Threads, Going Places, John's Department Store, Joker's Wild, KFC, Naughty Johnny's, Percy's Island Games, Pintertal, Print Masters, Sandcastle Bahamas, Star General, Insurance Made Simple, and Tropical Gyros.
Yeah, we've got a lot more coming. Who have ears to hear, let them hear. And who have eyes to see, let them see. No one
We're back at you on the Tuesday, March 25th edition of Talking Heads. Naughty and Company right up until 6 p.m. Look out for Pearly. He should be zooming in short order. Little FYI for you. As you know, we had a report of a broken down truck on the Malo Butler Highway. No hazard lights, blocking up one of the lanes. That would be, and the right lane would be blocked up. It's a private truck, black truck. Had another update. Naughty, the truck that is broken down on Malo Butler Highway belongs to the Complete Maintenance Group. So if there's anybody affiliated with the Complete Maintenance Group or knows anybody who knows the Complete Maintenance Group, try contact them. I will obviously do our due diligence here and see if we can contact them as well to give them the heads up. But they need to move that truck, especially with no hazards on. It's getting dark. That highway is known for accidents, especially with improper lighting in certain areas. Come on. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. All right? If we could eliminate a headache here now, let's get that moved. Let's get that done. If there's anybody passing there, obviously, if it's still there, you're going to have traffic situations. But if it's cleared and it has been moved, give me a heads up so we know that's been taken care of. All right? And since we're into the 5 o'clock and we're talking sports, you know how we got to kick it off. You know how we got to set it off with Today in Sports History. All brought to you, of course, by Naughty Johnny's. It's well worth the trip out there to the Old Fort Shopping Plaza with Naughty Johnny's, man. Definitely check them out Monday through Friday. Great for lunch and dinner. Then on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, great for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All right, on this day, March 25th. Wow, a lot of things happened. 1936, the Detroit Red Wings defeated the Montreal Maroons in the longest hockey game to date. The game lasted for 2 hours and 56 minutes. 1958, Sugar Ray Robinson regained his middleweight title for the 5th time when he defeated in a 12-round decision. 1972, Bobby Hull joined Gordie Howe to become only the second National Hockey League player to score 600 career goals. 1982, Wayne Gretzky became the first player in NHL to score 200 points in a season. 1995, boxer Mike Tyson was released from jail after serving 3 years. 1997, Hartford Whalers announced that they would move from Connecticut following the 1996-97 season. In 1997-98, they became the Carolina Hurricanes. 2002, the NHL suspended Keith Tkachuk of the St. Louis Blues for slashing Lyle Oderlin of the Chicago Blackhawks during a game on March 23rd, 2002. 2002, Bobby Holik of the New Jersey Devils was suspended by the NHL for slashing Rod Brind'Amour of the Carolina Hurricanes in the face. Brind'Amour needed 7 stitches to close the cut around his left eye. 2004, the NHL suspended Marty Turco of the Dallas Stars for 4 games for a high-sticking incident the night before against Ryan Smith of the Edmonton Oilers. Turco forfeited more than $195,000 in salary. Sports quote of the day: the minute you start talking about what you're going to do, if you lose, you've lost. George Schultz. And that's a wrap right there on Today in Sports History. All brought to you, of course, by Naughty Johnny. We got Pearlie in yet? He's about to chime in. So definitely keep an eye out for the Pearl. Yeah, boy. Naughty, you just spoke about Juju yesterday, and about 3 hours later, she had that unfortunate accident after you bigged her up all afternoon yesterday. Listen, it has nothing to do with me. I will continue to big up Juju Watkins. I think she's the future of women's basketball. All right?
Well, at least not for a year, though.
But now at least not for a year because she's got that torn ACL. But let me tell you who put the bad mojo on Juju. It wasn't me talking about her because I've been bigging her up on this show for months, telling everybody how good she is. And you know, she got the Mamba mentality. You know, I lie, Pearlie?
No, you've been the one. You've been the man. That I bigging up, as I big up Angel, you big up Juju.
Jaden Daniels, old player hating mummy, old jealous mommy. Oh, not my boy. Did you notice they were watching the game courtside, had a great seat, they were having good conversation. They go to commercial break. When they come back, after the break, mummy sit down and the two of them blocking, for lack of a better word. What happened?
What good name going on here?
So anyway, I think it's how put the bad mojo on Juju, not me.
No, what she do now is give Juju time to spend time with Jaden because she ain't got to play no ball.
And now what happened if he want to show up in the offseason to take care of her while she recuperates? Mommy made it worse, I believe.
I thought that was so bad. My mommy would have never do that. My mommy would say, no, man, sit next to him.
No, I mean, I'll be honest with you. God bless the dead. My mommy would have done that stuff, and then, you know, her and MJ would have been, that's exactly what happened. Mommy sat in the middle, her and MJ got dead tight.
Yeah, well, that would have been, she was upset.
Yeah, well, you know, she looked like she's a little jealous, but my mommy was a little different. She would sit down in the middle there, and the next thing I know, her and MJ talking, and you know? I'm not even in the conversation no more.
Real talk.
Then I hear later, boy, I like her for you.
Yep.
For you. That's one thing, boy. My mommy loved the MJ to pieces, and MJ loved her the same way back. My mommy.
My mom does. My mom does that right now.
But like I say, a lot of recuperation time for Juju though. Torn ACL, did it now. It's gonna take about a year. I know. Medical surgery and the medical field is advanced. But obviously, we want her to come back full 100 and ready to go. And injuries are part of sports. You know what I mean? You got to take them. Happens to the best sometimes.
That's true.
All right, so let's slide into the local scene. Pearlie, all brought to you, of course, by Burger King Nassau. And don't forget, man, it's all about Whopper Wednesday. Tomorrow's Wednesday. And you know, Burger King got you hooked up with that Whopper Wednesday. Be sure to check that out at your favorite Burger King Nassau location. All right, let's jump into the sports. The local scene. Jacario going for gold at Carifta. Bahamian junior sprinter hurdler has qualified in 3 events. There you go. Good stuff. Light One elected as president of Coaches Association. The Bahamas Association of Athletic Coaches, BAAC, held its election of Situation Room of the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture on Saturday. And we had Darren Light One elected as president. And full coverage of all the officers elected in the Guardian. Andrew Tynes, first vice president. James Rawls, second vice president. Kyle Higgs. Jameson Pratt, they were board members. Samson Colebrook, assistant secretary. Nikita Sears-Knowles, president. Darren Lightwood, and secretary Sherry Francis. So there you go. That's the whole entire contingency and team there. So glad to know that they've got their elections. They got a new president. Let's see what the mandate is, and let's see where it goes. Windsor hosts inaugural indoor rowing championships. Pearly.
Yay.
You know, Windsor might have done check and re-raise my old alma mater that I don't like to talk about, man, because they've got a pool with indoor rowing.
Listen, I got a young nephew.
Y'all are too entitled and privileged to go in that dangerous ocean. Come in this heated pool and let's do your rowing.
I have a nephew that's on the rowing team, and I think he got a gold or silver the other day.
Listen, you could get scholarships to college for rowing, man. I don't have a problem with that, but I mean, come on. We're in 80-degree weather for most of the ocean, all that beautiful ocean out there.
Brother, the amount of school fees they pay, you better have a heated pool for me to row in.
Oh, God, there you go indoors.
Listen.
All I can do is laugh. Heated pool. Oh, Lord. But hey, that's good stuff nonetheless. I'm glad to see that they're making those inroads, though, because that's something we should have had on sports curriculums for a long time. Considering
we were like water polo, and look how well our water polo teams did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very much so.
Man, that's cool. I'm going to stick to what I know, but
Let's get into who's in and who's out, all brought to you, of course, by Tropical Gyros. We spoke on Juju Watkins being out, but Pearly, baseball players trotting out soon, right?
2 more days. 2 more days.
Boy, I could hear the Joneserish in your voice.
Opening day, Thursday.
A lot of baseball on Thursday, too, for sure.
Everybody's playing on Thursday. Everybody.
All right, let's get to the phone lines. And, of course, you can chime in. Phone lines are open. We got lots to talk about. All right. And like I said, moving and shaking in the NFL, too, Pearly. A lot of people moving in the NFL.
Well, I see a lot of people getting frustrated with Aaron Rodgers.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. A lot of people want to be on the move. Aaron Rodgers holding it up, but a lot of behind the scenes moving and shaking with this draft coming up, Pearly. A lot of rumors coming out.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of potential trades, a lot of potential moving up, a lot of potential bad information being put out to protect certain players.
Yep.
And you know that this time of year, a lot of mumbo jumbo comes out, and then when you realize it's like, boy, they was lying all along. They player, but they drafted him anyway.
Yep.
How many times have we seen that foolishness?
Almost every year.
But I think the big thing with the hold up is Aaron Rodgers is correct. Aaron Rodgers is a linchpin right now, holding up the decisions of a lot of people.
It's between him, the Giants. Not the Giants. I think he's cut the Giants out. I think it's the Steelers and somebody, I can't remember who the other team is. But the Steelers are getting a bit antsy, and I hear they make just go ahead and say,
forget you.
They FAFO, so they're gonna find out what it means.
Aaron Rodgers, the latest update is the Steelers. Aaron Rodgers update. First deadline revealed the Pittsburgh Steelers are still waiting for Aaron Rodgers. The 4-time NFL MVP is expected to be closer to a decision, but nothing is imminent. And as confident as Pittsburgh is in a deal, no one truly knows if Rodgers is going to play in 2025 or who he may play for. So the Steelers are preparing for alternative routes. They signed Mason Rudolph and are comfortable with him starting some games, but not all. They've started showing their hand in the NFL draft and have a few names on their mind, which is why Rodgers' decision is so crucial.
But you know what I find amazing?
You know what I might find interesting, too? They may trade up and get Shedeur Sanders out of nowhere. They may be a dark horse for that trade.
That could happen. That could happen. But what I find amazing is Aaron Rodgers asking as if 6, 7, 8 teams after him. 1, 2 teams interested in him. And he's trying to sit around like he's the and that's why I never liked him as a player and don't like him. He thinks he's the prima donna.
A lot over his career in the NFL. And the NFL seems to cater to him. I've always called him the LeBron of the NFL, you know?
Yeah, but if you could imagine...
stats, but not a lot of championships.
You could imagine a quarterback of a different color skin than him try that. they'll be dogging him forever, and everybody kissing up to him, and he has to make a decision. He's gonna. Brother, you ain't that good anymore.
But here's an update since the last report I gave you out of Pittsburgh. Now the Steelers now have given an ultimatum to Aaron Rodgers. They've given him an ultimatum. You got to let us know something.
I don't blame him. And I'll tell him, let us know by Friday. If not, see you later. It's off the board. We can go with Russell. Because it's really putting Russell in an awkward position. And I feel it for Russell. And I think the Steelers could win with Russell, with what they picked up and who they signed.
But they won games last year. I mean, they didn't do poorly with him at quarterback. They won. It wasn't pretty, but they won.
Well, I think they could do better now because they get more Pickens, got help.
But I think what hurt him was the backtracking into the playoffs last year. Remember, they lost almost like 4 games or 5 games in a row going in?
I understand that.
But Aaron Rodgers is kind of holding everybody up from moving and going where they need to be.
Yep, exactly.
And that right there could be a problem long term for some teams. Because now it affects your draft, it affects what's left of free agency.
It affects everything. It puts you in a bad place. It gives, and if it was me, if I was Russell Wilson, I would have a chip on my shoulder now and say, okay, y'all waiting on Rodgers. Whoever Rodgers get, the next team I go to, we can burn you.
I think they're trying I think they might try to keep Russell, but boy, I don't know. If New York comes with a lot of paper, Russell gone.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I would go. If I was Russell, if the Giants make me an offer today, I would go today.
And they're already talking about potentially trading Pickens, so I don't know where they're going with that. They already weak with wide receiver, made the trade for Metcalf, but now they're potentially talking about trading Pickens.
I'd be dumb, in my opinion.
I think it would be a dumb move too, but you never know. I anticipate trades coming in this NFL draft. And I anticipate the trades coming with players attached, not just picks.
Yeah.
And something is afoot with this NFL draft. There's a lot of hush-hush and a lot of quiet talking, but I think something big is coming down the pike.
Time will tell.
Time will tell it.
Time longer than rope, or shorter than rope, whichever one you want to use.
For real, let's get to the phone lines. Talking heads.
Hey, brothers, what's going on? What's going on,
Muff? Ain't heard from you in a little while.
Yeah. Apparently, then go and let me know you and him are checking up. You're on your boy radio, man. Thanks for looking out. But your boy radio, that 10 game, your boy Dan. But we can run Jimmy Butler over to Miami tonight, man. We run him over to Miami. We done back on our winning streak again. We done win one the other night. Lakers lose. I'm so happy now. Orlando beat Lakers the other night. I'm happy with that. But we can give him a little video. Yeah, he deserves a little bit. He crying over the video. We give him a little video tonight. But ain't nothing happening. We can run him out of Miami tonight. 2 straight after the night. Yeah.
2 straight.
Yeah. But
you still there, Muff?
Tom Brady bring Keith Carroll and I think I'm back together, Geno Smith. Down there in Oakland.
Yeah, that's in Las Vegas. Yeah, that was Las Vegas. That's a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, that was a good move.
Yeah, that's a good move, but Geno was playing good lately, but he's getting on bad.
He was in Seattle. He did surprisingly well in Seattle.
Yeah, like that 10-7 record, man. I even thought they might have made the playoff with that. But like you say, you tell me that division hard. Yeah, that division hard. Yeah.
That ain't an easy division. No, not at all.
Yeah, but so the Dolphins and the Marlins and the Heat, I don't know which one was trying to send me the silence to face. Because all of my sports teams, all they taking is cut. You know what? But we can link up, gentlemen. Yeah, man, your boy right there doing it every day, man. Getting ready for this big, Heat Golden State game coming on in a little while.
Well, love yourself and enjoy it to the fullest, man, Muff. Always good to hear from you. Yeah, boy, but I was saying, if you look at the stats and so on and so forth, still a lot of moving and shaking, Pearly. Still a lot of moving and shaking.
It's going to be good. It's going to be a good last couple of days of the NBA.
Yep, and you got it coming down to the wire, and you got some teams playing now for actual playoff positioning, seeding.
Yep. And then now
it kind of matters.
Everything with the NFL draft is starting to fall into place now, so that's going to be interesting to watch.
It is. But more importantly, like I said, if you want to actually see live sports, the NFL's in the offseason. The NBA's playing right now. And like I said, it's still wide open. If you look over there in the Eastern Conference, Cavaliers only 4.5 games in front of the Celtics. Cavaliers have lost some games recently. Celtics 4.5 back. Knicks 12.5 in number 3. Pacers, number 4, out of nowhere, quietly 42-29, 15 back, but at the 4th seed, the Bucks, they've dropped to the 5th seed, 40-31. Pistons are 40-32. Hawks are 35-36 in the 7th spot, and this is where it gets ugly. The 8th seed is the Magic at 34-38. And the Bulls and the Heat are still in contention at 32-40 and 30-41. So definitely the East is a lot west. Thunder 13.5 in front of the Rockets, who are 46-26. The Nuggets are third, 45-28, 15 back. The Lakers are 43-28, 16 back. Grizzlies 43-28, 16 back. Lakers got the tiebreaker in head-to-head. Warriors 41-30. Here come the Warriors quietly, Pearly, like I told you, in number 6.
Yeah.
18 back. The Clippers 40-31, 19 back. The Timberwolves 41-32. They're 8th, 19 back. And the Kings, surprisingly, still hanging around in the 9th spot, 35-36. Suns 35-37. So it's going to come down to the wire. And the Mavericks have free-fallen since the trade and the injuries from number 3 all the way down and out at number 11 right now.
Yep. They had a good win last night, though.
They did. But they've been few and far between.
Yep. But I mean, AD is just back. Is now back. They actually had 10 players last night.
Yeah, but how did AD play?
That's a good sign.
But how did he play?
He played well. He did. I can't remember scores, but he did well. And when I saw through the highlights, he did pretty well.
Let me have a gander at what he did last night in the NBA. He plays for the Mavericks, correct? They won 120-101 over the Nets. Let's check the box score. Let's see what AD did in his new home. And obviously, we know what LeBron did. 2 games back-to-back coming off that injury. He hasn't looked good, Pearly. Is Pearly on mute?
I'm here. I ain't going nowhere.
All right, let's look at the stats. Last night, Anthony Davis played 27 minutes. 3 assists, 6-9 from the field, 0-2 from three-point range. Had a block, a steal. So he's working his way back in.
So he was on a specific time watch. So he's only getting 28 minutes.
Restricted minutes, correct.
So
we'll see what he does. Obviously, they might try to make that push for the play-in, but I don't know. I think they should reload in the offseason. I think the biggest thing is, what happens to general manager?
You know, Bill.
Nico Harrison, but what happens to him?
He ain't going nowhere.
I mean, that's a boo-boo decision. It's come and blown up in their faith.
Well, some people like that, They think he was trying to do what Cleveland is doing with the 2 big men. Is it Cleveland?
Cleveland with 2 big men. Who got the 2 big men right now?
Is it Cleveland? Who has Little? Which team Little on? No, Little is with Dallas, right?
Who are you talking about, Pearly? Damian Lillard?
The general manager of Dallas. I can't remember. He was emulating another NBA team that has 2 big men, and he wanted to create that same thing with AD and Lively.
Okay. Well, I don't know if that's going to work, man.
Well, it could work,
Yeah, but I think it needs a whole offseason of implementation, defensive sets to be set up, and then them to play some preseason games and gel. I don't think the chemistry's there for them. I think the chemistry is the biggest issue for the Mavericks now. Too many people were injured, no Kyrie. There's some Luka right now, boy, I'll tell you that. But anyway, we'll get to the break. Flip side of the break, we'll be back. Pearly and I'll chop it up some more. We'll get ready for our picks. And don't worry, man, we got a great Final 15 for you today. We got Nick Wright, Steve, and Mr. Broussard, Chris Broussard, taking us home today, talking about the Lakers' loss. Lost 4 out of 5 games. Is the Lakers' loss in recent losing streaks something to worry about, or is it just nothing? And the Rockets fall to the Nuggets. last night. And that talks about some more of the ramifications over in the wide open Western Conference. 1 through 5 is still anybody's game. Well, Oklahoma City run away with number 1, but 2 through 5 still anybody's game. So we'll talk about that and more on the flip side of the break as the Tuesday, March 25th edition of Talking Heads continues right after this.
Coming. Let them pass all the dirty remarks. If they were dogs, then they would bark. To them, don't know them corners soon dark.
KFC is taking things to crunchier levels with the new barbecue bacon ranch sandwich. Bite into 8 layers of flavor with your choice of a spicy or original recipe. Extra large white meat filet topped with our premium ranch sauce, lettuce, tomatoes, smoky bacon, American cheese, and all placed on a toasted brioche bun. The new KFC barbecue bacon ranch sandwich is here, and it's finger-licking good.
Here's a price list of some of the roofing material we carry at Pinda Enterprises. 5/8 pressure-treated roofing ply starting at $36.68. Gray Select Water Shield, $134.20 a roll. Felt, 15 pounds, $16.50. 30 pound, $19.80. Owens, Corning Duration Shingles, and CertainTeed Landmark Shingles, $56.56 a bundle. Gallon of roof cement, $33.47. All sizes treated dimensional lumber. And of course, we have all nails and all screws. We have 5/8 sheetrock, $28.76. Half-inch sheetrock, $22.18. All prices include VAT.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances, so come on into John's located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
Looking for insurance that fits your lifestyle and your budget? At Star General Insurance, we've got you covered. Whether it's motor insurance with flexible options for third-party liability and comprehensive coverage, or commercial insurance products that protect your business, we have choices you can afford. Own a home or renting? Our home insurance products have just what you need. And for the adventurers out there, we offer marine insurance too. Visit our website or social media pages for contact information and quotes. Star General, insurance made simple.
Crunch your hunger cravings and satisfy the whole family with KFC bucket meals starting at just $20. Get freshly prepared golden fried chicken, buttery biscuits, and add your favorite large sides for flavor that will make your mouth happy and your feet dance. Or WhatsApp Hi 557-3663 to grab your KFC bucket today. Big flavor, bigger value, and always KFC. Finger licking good.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Let them keep talking. Whoa, bark if you're barking. Oh, yes. Let them talk, keep them talking. Hey, we're gonna keep them talking. Laugh when they're talking, yeah. We've got a lot more coming. Talk, keep them talking. We're gonna keep them talking. Laugh when they're talking, yeah. We've got a lot more coming. Who have ears to hear, let them hear. And who have eyes to see, let them see. No one in this world can stop me, 'cause I'm protected by...
We're back at you on the Tuesday, March 25th edition of Talking Heads. Naughty along with the Pearl in your company right up until 6 p.m. And Pearly, we were talking going toward the break about, how general managers in the NFL put up their smoke and mirrors this time of year.
Yeah.
To distract people. But here's some stuff that's coming out of Nashville with the Titans, who have been very quiet. But apparently, the cost of trading up for the first pick in next month's draft to select Cam Ward has increased after the Titans saw the workout at his pro day Monday. The Titans plan to hold an...
He did great.
He did. The Titans plan to hold an additional private workout and throw-in session with Ward, whom the team has become increasingly impressed with. Sources told ESPN's Adam Schefter on Tuesday, Tennessee is still willing to listen to offers for the first pick, but will now take an even stronger package for the Titans to move down, the sources told Schefter. So sounds like they found their guy, Pearly.
No, they're gonna draft Cam Ward.
What had an impressive showing?
He rolled out to the left and threw a bullet for 80 yards. Right, like just dropped it right in the wide receiver's hand. It was really looked good.
Yeah, apparently he had a very impressive showing yesterday. Let's get to the phone lines real quick. Talking Heads.
Hey, what's up, Noddy and Pearly?
Hey, what's going on, Mystery?
Hey, everything good. Let me ask you a question. What this is tournament going on with the women right now?
That's the women's March Madness.
Yeah, same
March
thing.
Madness, yeah. But I haven't seen Jonquil in that.
Because that's college. Jonquil is pro.
That's college. He's pro.
Okay.
So Jonquil, Caitlin, Angel, all of them are pro athletes now. This is college. This is UCLA, Texas, Tennessee, those teams.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Universities.
And with the NBA right now, so I see some players are sitting out. So we getting near the playoffs right now.
Yeah, you see some do that load management.
Okay. So I'm looking for Golden State now. I'm a Miami Heat fan, you know that, but I'm looking for Golden State to get up there. Golden State can beat the Heat tonight. You know, Golden State is my second team.
Don't let Mafia you say that.
He listening right now.
So,
my Heat is my number one team.
So why is Golden State your number 2 team? Because Jimmy Butler got traded to the Golden State Warriors?
No, son. No. Hold on. Now,
I want to get this right. You a Heat fan, and you put up for Golden State to beat the Heat tonight?
Listen, you all know Golden State is my second team.
Yeah, but the Heat is your first team.
Both of my.
I know that now because you're telling me.
Hmm?
I know that now because you're telling me.
You knew that before then.
No, man, I had you down as a Heat fan.
You knew that before today.
I had you down as a Dolphin and as a Sheethead, man. You was a Heat fan.
No, but since Jimmy Butler left, look like everyone was down since then.
There's certain things you got to do. You got to sometimes scrape the bottom of the barrel before you start filling it back up.
I agree. Yeah, but that's going to be a good game tonight. We'll see how they react against Jimmy Butler and Golden State tonight.
But you are a Heat fan and you pulling for Golden State to beat the Heat tonight.
I'm not pulling. I'm watching to see what's going to happen. I'm not pulling.
I got you. Okay. Just checking. Just making sure, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
All right. Good stuff, Mystery. Be safe. All right, Pretty, let's jump into the picks. All brought to you, of course, by the Island Game. And the Island Game is the game, the friends you trust, and they always remind you to play responsibly. And baseball starting tomorrow, right, Pretty?
Thursday.
Baseball starting Thursday, and you get better than win with the Island Game. Every game. One thing about baseball, you got baseball every day for 162 games.
Every day, except the Dodgers won't play on Sunday.
All right.
We'll host Detroit for Thursday,
Friday, but other teams will play on Sunday, Pearly. Other teams will play on Sunday. Yeah,
we won't play on Sunday because we already played 2 games in Tokyo, so they're trying to have to, drop those 2 open dates in somewhere.
All right, here we go. Let's check out the NBA for tonight. Orlando Magic -5 over the Charlotte Hornets. I like the Magic to win. They won a big game last night against the Lakers. I'm going to take them in the money line. I know Charlotte might be a little let down for them, but I still like them to win, so give me the Magic and the Spurs plus 10.5 against the Detroit Pistons. I don't know which Spurs team is going to show up, and post-Wemby injury is even worse, but then again, it's the same could be said about the Pistons. So since they're at home, I'll take the Pistons in the money line. I think that 10.5 point cover might be too big.
That's a big cover. I agree with you. I'm going to go with the Detroit in the money line.
Dallas Mavericks plus 10.5 on the road in the Garden against the New York Knicks in New York. Again, 10.5 points. The Knicks are not good against the spread. They got injury issues too. They've been playing, they've had a couple of games over the last 4 or 5 games that they've not been themselves. So what I'm going to do now is I'll take the Mavericks plus the 10.5 points. They got 80.
I was about to say this. I feel that the Knicks could win the game, but they haven't given me enough confidence to be that sure. So I'm going to take the Mavericks plus the 10.5.
Golden State Warriors -5.5 over the Miami Heat. Heat plus 5.5. I like the Warriors to win. Steph playing tonight, correct?
I think so.
So give me the Warriors in the money line, man.
I'll take the Warriors. You know what? I agree with you. I'll take the Warriors in the money line as well. Because you don't never know what you can get. with the Heat. They could come out and play great ball because Jimmy's home and try to show him up. So, you know what? I'm going to take the Heat at plus the 5.5.
We got the Atlanta Hawks plus 8 against the Houston Rockets. I like the Rockets to win at home, but I'm going to take them in the money line.
I agree.
The Memphis Grizzlies minus 10.5 against the Utah Jazz. Is John Morant playing?
I'm not 100% certain. Let me quickly check that out.
Give me the Grizzlies in the money line to be safe, because they've been playing wishy-washy ball the last 15 games.
You don't know what you're getting with them.
They can't cover a bed with a blanket.
Not at all. And Morant, Jazz is still over that hamstring injury.
All right, so let's go with Memphis in the money line, because the Jazz is still incredibly horrible. Cleveland Cavaliers minus 6.5 over the Portland Trailblazers. I think the Cavs bounce back. Give me them minus a 6.5 over Portland.
I agree. I think Cleveland will come out and send a message tonight. I like them at minus a 6.5.
Oklahoma City Thunder minus 9.5 against the Sacramento Kings. Give me the Thunder in the money line. They too have been bad against the spread over the last couple of games.
That's why you can take the Kings and the plus.
Interesting. All right. Let me slide this in real quick, boy. Pearly, you got the bronsexuals out there, and we know ad nauseum they go no ends to promote their self-claimed deity LeBron. Correct?
Yeah.
Well,
correct.
Over on the WNBA side, we have a equal fan base. All right, for Caitlin Clark.
Yes.
But both of those fan bases disgust me, because there should be no reveling over somebody being injured in sports.
No, you shouldn't.
And look at this idiocy we get from the Caitlin Clark standboy. Naughty, someone sold me some jujus, but they had Crocs in them. That's why you should eat them juju, and they should give you the belly, and you should crap up all over yourself, like how you crap up all over this text, just spewing pure crap.
Yeah, but you don't do that because you don't know.
But wait, there's more. But
y'all could do the same thing that happened to Juju.
But speaking of busted jujus, what happened to your girl? All right. You know what? I know exactly how to reach you, texter. It's right here every day. I'm not going to take the low road like you and publicly come out and put it out there and gloat over somebody's injury. But I will tell you this. If Caitlin Clark, I want you to know that every day at 3:58 before I go on air, I'm going to text you and I'm going to remind you of what a fraud your Caitlin Clark really is. Every day. Including her fraudy rubber knee that's been blown out.
Wow.
All right? Because you have to fight fire with fire, Pearly. There's nowhere in the history of sports do you gloat or you cheer for somebody being injured.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
If you're a player that you support, you think they're so good, you want them to beat the best competition at full strength, correct?
True. I agree.
You don't want your Dodgers to beat my Yankees with injuries. You want the Yankees full 100, pitching staff ready to go, Jazz hitting, Judge hitting, everybody hitting, Bellinger hitting, correct?
I won't beat you when you beat your full squad. I don't want to beat you because you're hurt.
And I want them Spanko Tiny around the park. I want him be on the mound when you lose. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to play against an injured team. And as much as I don't like you, all of you ever once heard me wish an injury on Ohtani?
Never. I mean, I don't wish injury on any player because it could be my player the next time.
And even though I carry you to task over Caitlin Clark, I've never wished injury on her either. See, that's what's wrong with sports nowadays too. And if you listen to it at the youth level too, it's really disgusting.
Yep.
People talk a lot of crap and throw it at these kids and don't even care what they say.
And they don't know how these are kids. These are 21, 22, 23-year-old kids.
Anyway,
you know, you gotta get them. You can't kill them. They're not perfect. They're good. They're athletic. They're a lot better than you and I, but that don't mean they're perfect.
But Pearly, I think this text in particular is in his feelings. I think he's got his mangina in a knot. The Kansas City Chiefs lost the Super Bowl, and he ain't been the same since.
Well.
That's what cut skin will do to you. You know what I mean?
You get too cocky when you win more than one, but guess what? You ain't gonna win no more.
And that long off season to carry that L. The football got the longest off season ever to carry an L, boy. I swear to God.
Then the thing about it is, the football coaches watch what happened to you, and you will see a lot of teams get a better front line. So
correct.
I don't see Kansas City going back to the Super Bowl right now. I don't see Kansas City going back to the Super Bowl with that quarterback they got right now anymore. Nothing against him, but I just don't see that happening anymore.
There you go. Good stuff, Pearly. We got to get to the break, though. Nick, right? Chris Broussard taking us home. Lots of talk about the Lakers and other NBA news. That's going to take us home. So keep it right. We got it. Good stuff as always. We'll do it again tomorrow, bro.
Ciao. Ciao.
A lot more coming. Keep them talking. We're gonna keep them talking. Laugh when they're talking. Yeah. We've got a lot more coming.
Why settle for the typical burger when you can indulge in the Steakhouse Bacon? The king is raising the stakes with a masterpiece that combines all of your favorite steakhouse flavors. A juicy flame-grilled beef patty topped with A1 steak sauce, crispy onion, savory bacon, Swiss cheese, creamy peppercorn aioli with fresh lettuce and tomato. It's a steakhouse experience you can hold. Crafted the BK with the Steakhouse Bacon Whopper is bursting with flavor. Only available for a limited time at Burger King Nassau.
You try to rest, but roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it, just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Looking for tech solutions without the hassle? Since 1941, the Armory Company has been the Bahamas' trusted tech partner. From access control and cloud video surveillance to smart home setups and laptop repairs, we handle it all. Need a repair? We've got you covered, no matter where you bought it. Can't find what you need? Call us at 397-1600 for a custom solution. Visit us behind Wendy's on Mackey Street with delivery to all Family Islands. The Armory Company, where your tech problems meet their match.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. At cancercenter.com.
From October 2025 to April 2026, you can cruise visa-free from Panama aboard Royal Caribbean's Serenade of the Seas for 7 nights of round-trip sailing with direct flights from Nassau. Don't just cruise, experience it all with Going Places Travel. Ask us today about our airfare, hotel, transfers, and sightseeing packages. Call us now at 393-6900 or visit us at any of our offices in Nassau, Freeport, Eleuthera, and Exuma to book your dream cruise vacation.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Let them keep talking. Whoa, bark if you're barking. Oh yes, let them talk, keep them talking.
I think JJ handled that well. You've seen him go off on the team at times. I think he knew this is not the time necessarily to bash guys, but it's nothing. You know, I mean, obviously it was a bad performance, but last week it seemed like all week we were talking about teams having these letdowns. Mm-hmm. Denver losing to Washington, Golden State losing to Denver when Denver sat its stars. So this happens. What I will take from it, like that defense, and here's some of the numbers. Chicago shot 58% from the floor.
Not good.
They shot 46% from three. They scored 74 points in the paint, which matched the Bulls' season high for this year and matched the paint. They scored 30 fast break points. So they were like, they just had their way with the Lakers defense. That Lakers defense is close to what we kind of thought, when they got Luka, the defense is going to be the challenge. But assuming that they're going to get back on track defensively, which I think they will, it's nothing. The one thing I'd pay attention to, their transition, I said the 30 fast break points for the Bulls. The Lakers are poor in transition defense. They're like 6th from the bottom in allowing fast break points. None of the teams below them are in the playoffs or the top 8 of each conference Phoenix is like the only one that's still alive in the playoff race. And so that is something and some of these young teams that get out and run with Chicago is one of those teams, they have given the Lakers some problems. So that's something they need to shore up and fix. But otherwise, and I'll say this, Nick, LeBron didn't have his greatest game, but he looked spry. Yeah. He looked energetic. He looked athletic. Like the way he was running up and down the court
he didn't
was
look like
a great
he was
sign.
still dealing with the
No, not at all. And so that was a good sign for the Lakers.
So it's nothing as long as they collect themselves quickly. Their next 5 at Orlando, Indiana, Chicago. I really feel like they should have the expectation of we're going 4-1 in the next 5. Yeah. And so basically winning your next 3, splitting with Memphis and Houston, or if you lose one of your next 3, you got to beat Memphis and Houston, who are the teams that you're jockeying with. Memphis, right? Exactly, of course. Memphis all year might be without. At any point, might be without Ja. Concerning notes are, listen, Josh Giddey almost had a quadruple double, so it wasn't not great. But Kobe White doing what he did there. This is the nicest thing anyone will have said about the Bulls all year. There are parts of the Bulls that are like a very, 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 very poor man's Oklahoma City. And so it's like there is some like, ooh, you know what I mean? Could they, right, where, what would Oklahoma City do against this version of the Lakers? I have to look, when you said the transition defense thing, I want to look into it more because I do wonder, one of the things that happens if you prioritize crashing the offensive glass, the reason every team doesn't crash the glass is because if you don't get the rebound, you give up points. I do wonder if since AD was, from the time he was out to then he's not on the team anymore, and if they have said the way we're going to deal with rebounding issues is send a lot of guys to the glass, if that then, leaves them vulnerable. So if they are doing better in that category, you can deal with them doing worse a little bit in the transition defense. So if they're not getting offensive rebounds and giving up transition buckets, that's a disaster. What is definitively true, and then I want to ask you a question if I may, is this team cannot compete defensively lackadaisically, and if they're not all connected. The way they have to be at peak attention and connectivity because they are going to be at a size. I am really curious where you stand on the Lakers because you have made the vaunted Lakers defense held the Bulls to under 150 4 times today. In your walk-in video, you did it. In the open of the show. And so let's just say you think Oklahoma City is the favorite in the West, which they are literally, and I think that's fair.
Yes, I think they're good defensively, too.
Yeah, Oklahoma City.
Yes.
Yeah, of course, obviously.
Great defense.
They're great.
I watch them like that's a good defense.
No, they're probably the best. I think they're the best defensive team in the league.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else in the West that you think is clearly that we have elevated the Lakers ahead of that we shouldn't have? Or, are you comfortable with saying the Lakers are the second best team in the West, or do you think that's too far? I'm really just trying. I'm not trying to jam you up.
I put the Thunder at 1, and then it's kind of a log jam underneath. I push back against, and the stats are there, but the eye test, and I'll show you. Here's this zealous possession that you're talking about playing lackadaisical defense. I push back against this defense being as amazing as the number. That's all. It's like they're good, they're number 1, and I'm like, man, they're number 1, but I'm a stats guy. But when I look at over and over, I'm like, I don't know. I just don't believe in this defense. I don't believe in Jackson Hayes has to go out and get Vucevic there so he doesn't help out. I think Luka's going to get hunted and blown past come playoffs. I push back against, I think this Lakers defense a little bit.
But I don't think that, I don't think anyone on this show or nationally was like, well, the Lakers, they're going to be a top 3 defense.
But they were number 1 for so long.
Right. I know that they had an amazing stretch. But I think, Brew, tell me, because you picked them to win the West, I then went over the top, picked them to win the whole thing. For both of us, it was their offense is going to be amazing. And their defense is not going to be so,
it's going to be good enough.
It's going to be good enough. And so that's where my belief comes from. I think yours as well. Yeah. I think everyone agrees that the number one defense in basketball was probably not going to sustain the rest of the way, and I don't think anyone was saying it was.
I mean, if this, and it can't be indicative of what's to come defensively with them,
ruined.
then they got no chance. But they need to be much better than that, though. Much better. Like a top 10, 12-ish defense.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that they could win the
15-ish.
title if they have the 12th best defense, because I think they're going to have the best offense. And again, against the Bulls in a blowout, it's not. But they scored 115 in a night that Luka didn't do that well. Like, I just think.
146.
No, like I said, the Bulls game is the bad example. I know, but I think this offense is going to be the best offense in the NBA now that they're full strength.
All right. Meanwhile, in Denver, that's nice.
They're not going to do anything in the playoffs. They haven't been in the playoffs in like 4 years. You don't just go with a bunch of young kids, first time you're in the playoffs, and go to the conference finals or the finals. So I like what I see from them. Ime Udoka is fantastic. He's in the running for Coach of the Year. But to me, this was more, I get it that Houston lost, and they have been playing good basketball.
They won 8
so I'm
in
not,
a row.
they had won 8 in a row.
Oh,
A lot of it was 9 in a row. So I'm not going to just, put too much into this game.
Right.
Again, we just keep seeing these bad losses, but they were playing well. This was about Denver to me. And it's no secret, of course, that they'll really go as Jamal Murray goes. Jokic, you can write in his 30-point triple-double every night. What is Murray going to give him? I know, right. And it's true.
It is true, and it is an amazing thing to say.
What are Murray and Porter? Because Porter's huge for them. With their lack of depth relative to what they've had when they won the championship, Porter needs to be bigger. And so he was good. He only had 17, but he was good. And then, Murray, I don't need 39, but I need him playing at an all-NBA level
Mid-20s.
throughout the playoffs.
High 20s.
And some big games, because he's had huge playoff games.
Yeah.
So he needs to be all-NBA level in the playoffs.
So I agree with you on the Denver side, Brew. I don't believe in Denver because I don't think you're going to get those performances consistently. Again, not even 39. I don't think you're going to get 29 consistently from Jamal. Mm-hmm. And when they won their championship, when Michael Porter Jr. was also unbeatable, and when he wasn't, it's like, well, maybe KCP, maybe Bruce Brown, and now those guys are gone. To me, this is more about Houston. KW. They let the Denver Nuggets get away with playing DeAndre Jordan 38 and a half minutes.
He's good.
Okay, Wilds, when is the last time in regulation you think DeAndre Jordan played that many minutes in a game?
He played how many minutes?
38 and a half.
God.
Just give it a guess.
Well over a decade.
I'm going to say prime Lob City.
It was J.J. Redick was a teammate, and it was prime Lob City. It was 7 years and 358 days ago. April 1st, 2017 was the last time in a regulation game DeAndre Jordan played these types of minutes. That should, if another team is in a position where DeAndre Jordan, who has had an excellent career, and shout out to him for still being useful in that, hey, I can be a backup center and need some minutes. Like, I'm not taking shots at DeAndre.
No.
But if you have played DeAndre Jordan 38 minutes, if you're playing that team and you're a serious team in a game that matters, that should lose them the game. It should be like, okay, with that we are going to target him in a pick and roll every time down the court until he's off the court, and then they don't have the size. The fact that Houston, this is about the youth part of it, couldn't execute that means to me they're not viable the way their seeding says they are. And so I am going to, I'll make them left. Right now they are still the 2 seed. I think they finish the 4. I think they go 5-5 in their final 10. That'll put them at 51-31, which is an awesome year. That is an unbelievable year. But I, sight unseen, barring a catastrophic injury, will be picking against the Rockets in round 1 because I know who they could be playing.
Clippers, T-Wolves, Warriors.
Grizzlies. Yeah, again, assuming Ja's back. Who knows? If it's 4 or 5, they could be playing the Lakers. I don't know. He could be playing the Nuggets. But those are the teams. And again, Houston folks, you know how much affection I have for the city, and I really like Bruce said, what this team can be. There's been a great year. But cannot take them seriously as a playoff team if DeAndre Jordan can play a whole game and beat you.
Finally, Anthony Davis getting healthy. Mark
sure would like to have Anthony Davis on the court when they play the Lakers near the end of the year. And I think the Mavs also know this. Phoenix has, by a mile, the hardest schedule left in basketball. They have 11 games left. 1 is against 10 of their 11 games are against playoff teams with winning records. It's just Dallas, on the other hand, 5 of their final 11 games are against losing teams. So Dallas can absolutely get in the play-in, and if Anthony Davis is healthy, they absolutely can make the playoffs. Like, when you have a great player and it's a one-off and you're playing a somewhat flawed team, which is what you would be playing in the Kings or the Clippers, I think they'd have trouble beating the Warriors, but the Warriors might not, whatever it is, like, you got a shot. And so, when Anthony Davis got hurt, they were like, he'll be back soon, we're still making a run. I know Kyrie then blew out his knee, so it changes the math on your season, but Anthony Davis definitively should play if